Welcome back to the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. For the second weekend in a row, winter weather reared its ugly head, contributing to a multi-vehicle crash that closed Interstate 44 for several hours. According to the Highway Patrol, 5 tractor-trailers were involved in the February 10th accident near Sullivan, including one that struck an overpass support and overturned. The driver of that rig was seriously injured and transported to Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital. No one else was injured. The 2018 Night to Shine event, sponsored by the Tim Tebow Foundation and hosted by Faith Assembly Church in West Plains, had 101 attendees this year. 123 caregivers and about 100 community volunteers were also present. The evening included limousine rides, a red carpet walk, hair and makeup station, a shoe shine stand, complimentary corsages and boutonnieres, a catered dinner, karaoke, prom favors, and, of course, a dance floor. A Rolla man was arrested after allegedly physically assaulting a woman and attempting to force her into a vehicle. 24-year-old Wesley Buchanan has been charged with domestic assault and kidnapping. The individual who reported the incident claimed to have heard screams for help. When officers arrived, the victim detailed a fight that began at Buchanan's home in Rolla, wherein he allegedly strangled her until she passed out. The pair left that residence to retrieve a jacket belonging to the victim. Buchanan drove, making threats to kill both the girl and himself. Buchanan's bond was posted in the amount of $50,000. A Mountain Grove man is facing 21 felony charges after allegedly setting fire to his apartment while his wife and 3 children were present. Jose de Jesus Martinez Garcia, a Mexican national, is now reportedly facing deportation by the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Garcia's wife told police that she allegedly flushed her husband's meth and broke his pipes, at which point he, quote, went crazy. When officers entered the home, they attempted to tase Garcia twice, but charges failed both times and a struggle ensued. He is now being held at the Howell County Jail on a $250,000 bond. Hundreds of tech-savvy high school students from throughout Missouri and its surrounding states will put their robotic creations to the test on February 24th during the First Tech Challenge, a regional robotics championship for high school students hosted by Missouri S&T. Leanne and I will be there, so be on the lookout for coverage of that event in an upcoming episode. The headquarters of the Dent County Fire Protection District will soon receive a $1 million facelift thanks to a $350,000 Community Development Block Grant and a USDA loan. This fire protection service covers 127 square miles in Dent County, including the city of Salem. Leanne spoke with Mayor and Fire Chief Brad Nash.
This building was Dent County Motors, was owned by Brent Mitchell. We talked to him and had a couple of meetings over here, and it just worked. We bought the building in late 2003, early 2004. We've got a lot of memorabilia that we've been able to collect through the years. We're fortunate enough to have a fire truck that was originally the City of Salem Fire Department's fire truck. It's a 1932 General that was made in St. Louis, Missouri. And so we are able to, with our current facility, have those items on display for people to come in and view as well.
I know you use this building for much more than fire protection services. Can you tell me about that?
Absolutely. We try to open our doors to any of the not-for-profit organizations in the community that need a place to meet. The hospital uses our building for training. They also have different fundraising activities that they put on to help raise money for the hospital. We have a fire department toy program that we put on to give toys to needy kids for Christmas. We allow the law enforcement, any kind of emergency services to use the building. We have enrichment services, which is an adult daycare in our area that utilizes the building as well.
The parking lot here is not just your normal parking lot.
No, it is really not. It serves a couple of purposes for us. Number one, we've been able to have large-scale trainings in our parking lot. We also have it set up for a landing zone. We land air evac and some of the other entities in our parking lot to help people that are injured in our area to be able to get to a larger hospital.
So this is truly a community building and a countywide building.
Absolutely, it is. The renovations that we are going to be making is a new roof. We're going to be working on our parking lot, updating that. Our restrooms are currently not handicap accessible, so we're going to be renovating those to make those handicap accessible, to make the building more user friendly. We're also going to be putting a couple of more additional bay doors in the front of our building for easier access for the fire trucks in and out of the building.
Something amazing happened in the middle of this past week. Some refer to it as a holiday. A day in which my heart is always filled with passion and feelings, and seemingly everything has a shiny red filter over it. It was the rekindling of a love affair I share with a certain someone. February 13th marked the beginning of spring training for several Major League Baseball teams, including a certain team from St. Louis. Hope springs eternal in the human breast, but also on a majestic diamond in Jupiter, Florida. If you aren't a Cardinals fan, my apologies for this, but this is the Missouri Ozarks. Come on. Thanks for watching the weekly recap. I'm Matt Wacker. I'll see you next time.
Love is in the air, everywhere I look around.
The weekly recap is brought to you by Rice Chopper, cooking from scratch, the UPS store of Rolla, Bayard Dodge in West Plains, and the Ozarks Medical Center.
Let your inner Zeus loose and plunge to support Special Olympics Missouri athletes. Dust off your toga, don the laurel wreath, and party like the good old days at your choice of 13 frigid bodies of water this January, February, and March. Sponsored by your local law enforcement, proceeds support 15,000 children and adults with intellectual disabilities in year-round sports training and competitions throughout the Show Me State. To find out how you can get involved, visit somo.org/plunge. So get your family and friends together and take the plunge to make a difference in an athlete's life today.